And feel free to recap a bit what happened last time.
All right. So, essentially what happened last time, we were in discussions on what to do next, like to bring in like commerce and industry, and some ideas were thrown around, repurposing factories, repurposing the old mining stuff. But eventually, Dennis put it in that, you know, traffic comes through here a lot. More traffic will probably be coming through here soon. Building a district to entertain those travelers, tourists and all, that wouldn't be bad. So we started that in motion. Got Brick to move on the vagrants in the area so we could make use of it. Upset some people, but hey, it's with the past efforts by Scott, able to thread the needle there. So that we were able to get entice some investors, specifically the Malenkov Corporation, who came, who are all represented by a lady named Zvinka. She was impressed by what she saw. The city was kept orderly, and that deal was signed. After that, Dennis brought up that very naive new lord of House Vodnik, Alexei. Uh, he's basically alone, separated because of his the previous head, his cousins. The ties to that horrible assassination of the previous Lord Orpheus. Horrible tragedy, really. So we arranged a meeting with him, went to his city, and Scott impressed him with his stories. Scott got injured in a duel, and after that, Daniel was able to talk to the boy a little one-on-one, and basically pitched him an idea, of perhaps selling some of their machinery off-world. Make it so it's a little less inherently specialized just to this world, and basically tried to coach the boy on how he could broach that subject with his liege, the head of House Ravenum, because it'd be inappropriate for Daniel to come in and try to do that to somebody else's lesser house. I think Alexei got the message.
Yeah.
Hopefully he didn't fuck it up.
We'll see about that.
And yeah, then we went home after that.
Um. Well, as a couple of days would pass by, I'm not sure if there's any sort of discussions you want to have with your nephew and sort of plans you might want to focus on next, other than just wait for a response from House Ruvinum regarding those interesting ideas you're floating around them.
I'd say besides that, besides broaching and making sure that his nephew is still doing his studying as he should be, because you can always keep learning. Daniel would probably be reaching out through Dennis to see if, well, what other avenues there are with Noble House. If there's any any events or anything of those sorts that are happening recently that House Alias could either be expected to attend or would not be considered egregious for them to ask to attend. If there's anything like that to make more of those sorts of connections with the other houses.
Well. Oh, should I be an asshole? Be an asshole. You know, You may be successful, but what if I just involved you with unsuccessful?
What do you mean by that, Grunt?
You
Who are
mean
those unsuccessful people?
Well, listen. You get a quick meeting with Dennis. You know, the regular meetings you have with him and Scott. Today he seems particularly excited. Daniel, I think we are finally being recognized. Bring good news.
Oh, we are we?
Quite so. I have received an interesting proposition. Well, now that we have our economy on the rise, money is starting to flow. You have your corporate friends doing a wonderful job building those high-rise towers in what's soon to be quite the attraction. I was, well, approached in a very friendly manner as, well, one should. In a certain specific house. Now, up until now, we've dealt with House Kiz, which is a vassal of House Charybdis, our overlords. But we've also dealt with the Vodniks, as you and your nephew made quite a good impression, I hear. They are under House Ruvinum. I think if you wish, Daniel, there is an opportunity to complete the set. As I have received word, House Nyx, servants of House Orpheus. You remember Lord Orpheus? Unfortunate tragic accident.
Yes, I'm aware.
House Nyx has what's apparently a meeting with the great steward of our house.
That is useful to know.
I've been sure to make known that our capabilities are quite particular, and it seems that they might be interested in our services. And well, and he kind of looks at you, Scott. The ruler of the house does have 3 daughters. There's potential for a marriage. The reason why I'm putting this forward with them specifically is that there are rumors, nothing official, these things never are truly official. But my sources tell me that House Nyx is involved with rather unsavory business. Feel like they would be our number 1 clientele on this planet.
my lord, it's not. There is no harm in checking out and talking with them. And if we can, we could see where it goes. Worst case scenario, we don't do business with them now, but at least a conversation to show respect could be beneficial.
No reason not to. Would be good to have foot in the door with each with each of the three houses.
If I may ask, and this might be too early to say, but what have you heard about talk about our family? What has been said, if anything?
Not that much. We are still under the radar, although young Lord Vodnik apparently does sing your praises. Although nobody really listens to him anyway, so...
Okay. My lord, if this is what you would like to do, we can send a message to them immediately.
Yes, I think that would be a good course of action to pursue. Grunt. So, what is the exact sign? Because I may not have heard it. I may not have heard it properly. What it will with House Nyx, that Orpheus is, connected to House Orpheus. But what are they doing exactly? I know that we want to get in contact with them because they're assassins. The
Yeah.
implication.
What do they want from you?
So what is the is there a specific reason we're contacting them now, or is we're just going to send a letter to make the arrangements with them just to be
They
friendly?
reached out to you.
They reached out to us.
Yes.
All right.
This is the
All right,
first
I
time they
just
reached
not-
out to you.
All right. That changes things. I did not understand that part.
Yeah.
But yeah. No.
Scott's concerned and skeptical, but he's always concerned and skeptical.
Give me one moment. I need to adjust my notes because I did not properly understand that part. Oh. They gave us first of all, of course, they assumed that there was a note, something that they sent to us.
Dennis
Or is
kind
it too
of
long?
presents the scroll and put that on the table. A well-worded letter as well. Polite, cordial. Provides a very easy way to turn them down.
Turning them down would be an insult.
No, that's what he said. It provides. It's not a. It's a very.
We're seen.
Yeah,
as
as you can read it a bit. It's worded in a very friendly manner, but it's very when you have the time, if you want, we can discuss certain opportunities. It's not the we wish to meet with you, and at which you have to say yes or no, right? It's worded in a whenever you want. So you'd be like, well, we're busy, or hey, we can just postpone it indefinitely. That's why I said it's kind of leaves you out of room to maneuver. Doesn't really force your hand in any way.
All right.
I'm still gonna make this one Daniel's call.
Yeah, no. Daniel will begin drafting his own note in response, essentially saying that they are. Can you not hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, Daniel will draft a note basically saying that, while they are busy. I don't think Dick could hear us.
Yes.
Can you hear us now, Tick?
I think that doesn't know. A minute.
Hey, sorry about that. Discord just it went to voice connection 0, and then everything just kind of stopped for a second.
No worries.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. Daniel will write a letter that essentially does say that House Alias is definitely busy, but Daniel does not see any conflicts with making a meeting. Basically agreeing to it, but not sounding like we're jumping at the opportunity.
Yeah. And you schedule like a meeting in the near future, but you actually want to meet with them.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Would you the letter also let this up to you? Would you want them at their own place, or would you want to meet at your own?
As always, I think we should always go to them, and always unarmed to show an equal amount of respect. And being that our sound is not at pristine levels, I think it gives off the wrong impression.
Yeah. No. Daniel would say that meeting at their residence, meeting at their residence would be fine.
Yep. Yeah. You relay back the message, and the meeting is scheduled sometime in the future. Until then, there's nothing else. The construction site is going along smoothly. These people are the spitting image of efficiency and just discretion. Things go in, go out. There's no accidents, there's no problems. Everyone works in regular shifts. No disgruntled workers, and Brick keeps the peace, so to speak. So there's no problems with any of the transports. The entire process is going along smoothly, which I assume all of you are happy about.
Always good to hear.
But the meeting date arrives as unfortunately there is no mass transit to their city as well. So throttle it is like, but since
One day.
you
One
are
day.
you are moving, are you gonna take a personal shuttle, which will actually cost you some wealth?
How much
Well,
wealth do we actually have at the moment?
I'll let you know in like a second. There's always the public transit, which is you have one wealth.
Yeah, we'll probably take a.
Yeah, take
We'll
the
take honestly. We'll take public because honestly, they reached out to us, so they want to talk with us. We don't
Yes.
need to
You don't need to impress them.
splurge on the shuttle.
Yeah. So with a couple of trips, eventually the public transit shuttle is something much more affordable. As you do send notice that you will be arriving that, and they let you know that there will be an escort for you ready and take you from the port. As you land, very different experience than what you felt with Alexei, who basically paid for all of your luxuries and was like a very nice, comfortable trip. This is kind of crowded. It smells. It's not very nice. Definitely a different sensation.
Yeah, I don't. This sounds like the life we used to have.
Yeah. You've traveled through space and smuggled cargo and ships, so you're used to way worse than this. But it's an unpleasant reminder of the state of things.
Getting nostalgic, Melon?
Maybe it can be a nostalgic trip. You
Well, for
remember
Daniel, it is. For Daniel, it is.
as you land. and indeed there's an escort for you, as they will lead you through the city. Now, this city, um, while I name Sputnik City, I think I did. The city of Riga. Riga was much more utilitarian, efficient, a city built by engineers for engineers for the purpose of extracting maximum efficiency at the lowest cost. The city where House Kids ruled had much more of a stylized appearance. Um, of course, you've traveled now several times to the city of Yorith, which is just a place built by artists. So everything there is beautiful and kind of like made to evoke certain feelings and take advantage of nature and combine it with human ingenuity to achieve a beautiful aesthetic. This city has a different vibe to it. It's meant to be very private. Everything is humble. There's no, you don't see any, all the buildings are about as large as they would need to be. There's no fanciful architecture, but there is like some, you can, I want to give me like an understand roll, like a difficulty too, so I can give you all the details.
Give me one moment. Let's understand.
Okay.
Roll understand.
He already did it. So, I mean, technically, you could also roll. Maybe you get momentum. Well, fine.
The thing, yeah, I can roll if you'll let me, yeah. Beauty. Oh no.
Yeah.
Nah.
Annual architecture maybe is not right now the first thing on your mind. But Scott, as you can like get driven through town, it's a similar vibe, the utilitarian city, but this one does have a sort of style to it. There's a way the buildings are shaped, made, and there are decorations here and there, but they're done in a much more tasteful, very humble way. What you do realize as well, there's one other very important difference between that city and this one, is that while that one was designed to maximize building costs, like reduce building costs while maximizing their efficiency and output, these structures are made and kind of like placed in such a way create this feeling of this maze, this place which you could easily get yourself lost in. So many side streets where vehicles literally can't get in. They're too narrow. People always traveling. All of the houses have different exits and entrances. Things are done at an asymmetrical nature to the point where it's very hard to distinguish any sort of pattern other than the lack of patterns. Whereas the old city, there you would have probably a building blueprint that was used again and again and again. Here, each building is slightly different, slightly unique. So it's a very confusing, and if you're the kind of person with OCD, this would be your literal nightmare.
Daniel fucking hates it.
Yeah, Scott actually points that out, and then Dad's like, "Grr, taking this place, it would be impossible. This place, this is a guerrilla warfare's wet dream."
Certainly effective. I can appreciate the effect, even if I dislike how disorderly it looks.
I I think it's spectacular, and once you're in, gives a feeling of nobody can but them can leave. If they don't want us to leave, we're not going to get out of here.
There's no response to Danny from that, but you can tell he's thinking of not quite like this level, but other places where it's like you can't get out unless they leave. And it's like I've gotten out.
This guy's not worried. It's more of just admiration and kind of excitement to meet these people. He respects talent.
Fine. Added. So yeah, as you eventually get to your destination, this calling it a noble residence is not the most appropriate. It does remind you a bit of home, a bit of your own. Although much more well maintained. This place is clearly intentionally small scale. Everything about, as you kind of like, the guards will escort you inside you as you pass through the gates. Everything here seems to be very, very deliberate, and it's again the same sense of things just being just that off center. And I will also add that the entire city is rather poorly illuminated. Another fun fact. This residence included. Everything is kind of cast into a rather dim light. There's very few lights, and there are many, many shadowy corners where one could easily hide. But as you're escorted inside, there's two people waiting, like in the lobby area, and you see a man and a woman. As they're both wearing what you can assume is like the house colors and regalia. As the man just takes a step forward and says, "Welcome, my lords. Welcome to our humble abode."
It is our pleasure. It is our pleasure.
The woman just slightly nods. Says, "You must be weary from your trip. I'll have the guards escort you to your quarters and we can discuss things over dinner."
That would be lovely. You have my thanks.
He nods and then gestures for the guards, and the guards will actually escort you to a set of rooms. And you notice that these rooms, unlike the rest of the house, are properly illuminated. As you walk in, there's no shadowy corners. Everything looks much more normal. It's actually quite a contrast between the rooms themselves and everything you've seen so far.
All right. Daniel will do the closest thing he has to relaxing, which is most people wouldn't call it relaxing at all. You're going to flick to Scott. So, boy, what's your view on things so far?
I think that this place is meant to keep us off balance. I think it's meant to keep us paranoid. I'm not saying that there's not dangers in the dark, but I think showing any sign of weakness here would be a mistake. I don't know. I get a predatory vibe off these people. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being paranoid.
Should always be a little paranoid. It's a good thing to have.
I don't feel any hostility here. I think if I were to make a guess, that woman in back is going to be keeping as much eye on us as we are going to be on her spokesperson.
Most likely.
I trust in your abilities, and I will keep an eye out for anything, but I'm going to tell you their skill. If they don't want me to know something, their skills are probably going to outweigh mine heavily. I apologize.
I'm just going to look around and look back to you. Don't expect failure before it happens, otherwise that's all you're going to get.
Scott nods. Scott will nod and just kind of wait to be. He'll just be waiting to be called to the meeting. He's not going to be really relaxing. He's just kind of contemplating and thinking, and keeping his eyes and ears open.
Oh, since you say it like that, it means you're gonna be rather attentive, right, to your surroundings. See if you hear anything. If you look out the window.
Yeah, sure. Because he does have the because he literally does have the watchful trait.
Do it. Constantly watching. Yeah. So as you look out the window, there's a certain quiet to this room. Then you notice it, Scott. There's a buzz sound. Like something's kind of like vibrating. The high enough frequency which you can hear it, but it's very, very faint. It's there. It's rather annoying.
Would I have any understanding of what it is, or can I at least find out where it's coming from?
Yeah, well, probably somewhere nearby. Maybe inside the house or just like next to it. As for what it is exactly, you can give me maybe an understand roll. Difficulty, I would say 3.
Yeah. Do we still have momentum?
No.
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 You can buy a threat, though, because we're not posted with the other house.
Yeah, well, I'll buy threat for this.
Okay. 1 threat, 1 dice. 3 threat, 2 dice.
Oh, if I want 1 threat, it would be two threat, or
No, so if you want 1 extra dice, it will be just 1 threat. If you want 2 extra dice, it will be a total of 3 threat.
I will take the 2 extra dice.
Okay.
Because we're not pussies like the other house.
We're in this to win. Oh my.
My God.
Well, Hey, mark 1 XP because you did fail spectacularly difficult roll. There's your consolation prize. But as you kind of like try and like look around, glance out the window, you can't seem to locate the noise. But you keep trying, you kind of like pace around the room, maybe like listen in, and then you realize the sound has shifted, and instead of being a constant buzz, now it's alternating at an irregular rhythm, and it's much higher. And now, Daniel, you can hear it too, and it's annoying you as well. Probably even more because it's also completely arrhythmic.
He'll put his finger to his lips, and if he has like a notebook or like something to scribble down, he'll write any ideas? Question mark.
Does anyone have any idea what this could be?
You also want to try and give me an understand roll?
Yes, because I can advise you.
Yeah, I can
Can
try
get
it.
worse. It can get worse.
We do have a determination point, by the way.
Yeah, you
I don't
can
know if
use
that
it.
helps.
You can use it if your statement of the drive you're using matches the situation. But yeah, Daniel's getting very hard to concentrate with this annoying sound. Every action, every roll you make from now on will be one difficult higher.
Difficulty higher. Damn.
Yeah.
Right. I'll buy a threat, so I'll have 3 dice.
You want to buy that would be like, so for 3 threat it'll be 2 more dice. Or you want 3 extra?
Oh no, I bought 1 die to get 3 dice. 1 threat to get the 3 dice, because
Okay.
otherwise,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not spending all of that.
And difficulty is 4 for you, because it's kind of, there's something so damn annoying about the sound. There's also one way to get XP. Smash your head against the wall.
Mhm.
Yeah. Honestly, because my focus doesn't apply, that means to crit I have to get the 1. I don't actually like my odds on this.
But you do get a reroll.
That's true, because you're advising.
Mm-hmm. Or you could buy more threat. But that does leave us pretty vulnerable.
It does. And I don't feel like power is a justification in and of itself. The statement fits with the role to use determination.
You can just bear with it. You don't need to.
Yeah, no, Daniel will just bear with it. Daniel writes down. Ignore it, boy.
All right.
Write down again if there's hesitation. They're trying to psych you out. And it's working.
He'll nod. If there's water, he'll rip up the notes and soak it in the water.
I'll say if you want to try and ignore it, it'll be a discipline roll at the difficulty of 2. And you can just counteract the effect.
Okay.
Discipline
This one's not really my strongest, but yeah, okay. Nope.
As much as you try, Scott, yeah.
Nope.
Daniel, you both try and like ignore it, but the frequency alterates. It seems like there's like the sound is digging into your brain. It's physically painful at this point. It's been 3 hours and no sign for dinner, and you can't relax, you can't sleep, you can't focus. Just this agonizing down that just is driving you insane. And about after another hour of just this auditory torture, down just stops. And as you're not too sure if it's just stopped or takes a break or the rhythm changes again, there is a slight knock at the door.
Daniel will get up and go to the door.
There are 2 guards there. So one of them says, "Dinner is ready."
Good. Get a servant to check the vents. Noise was intolerable.
Yes, sir. Come on.
I'd say for Scott, you know that means Daniel's actually furious right now. That's the most he usually lets out.
Yeah, that I was like, oh, so much for, like internally, he's like, so much for concealing our feelings. Jesus. Let's hope there's no other surprises.
As one of the guards will proceed to check the rooms, and see, the other one would lead you through the dark hallways into looks like a dining hall. As at the table, you see the man and the woman on one side, and there's like 2 seats on the other side. As the guard just bows and leaves, the man stands up and says, "Welcome. Please have a seat. Food shall be here shortly."
Do we? Yeah, no, I'm gonna skip master because it's not really even a good question yet.
Thank you.
He'll sit back down. The woman just nods and says, "I hope you managed to get some rest."
You can see Daniel merely nods. Yes. Going over a few things. I prefer to keep my mind on business.
The man nods and says, "Yes. My name is Damocles. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, my lord. This is my wife, Lady Anicia. And, well, I'm glad to have hosted the both of you at our dinner tonight."
Pleasure as always, Daniel and my nephew Scott.
Yes, I did hear quite a lot of things about you. Recently promoted to the rank of nobility and given stewardship of the city of Heraklion. Quite a hard journey you have ahead of you, from my understanding.
Well, the journey's difficult, but the journey's never been easy up to this point, and we'll do as we always have.
Well, no, go ahead. We're gonna say something.
I was gonna say just because something is hard.
Not rewarding.
He's dying. You're killing him.
No.
It's the hunter
We're happy
seeker.
to
Got him.
be granted such a city and looking forward to the challenges it brings.
That's where the beeping noise was coming from.
Fucking god machine.
Did you just change microphone stick like mid-sentence?
Is there an emergency going on where you are? Is that a siren?
Oh no, that's It's not never a good sign.
He's dead.
Because it
Got
literally.
him.
Huh?
Sorry.
Oh,
I didn't. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. That was another connection issue. I said, just because something is difficult does not mean it is not proven to be rewarding. We are always happy to face any challenge that comes our way, because the most challenging things often show the best rewards.
I agree with that sentiment. Hence why I wanted to meet with you. Most nobles around this planet fail to notice the details. They're just staring at them in the face. As the servants kind of like started bringing in some plates of food, putting them on the table.
As he's watching the food, as they're putting the food down, he'll be like, "And what details would that be, my lord?"
How come? Well, I'll be blunt, and please do not take offense with this statement, but rather a glaring detail that not even 2 months after the funeral of one of the more important people on the planet, this random minor house gets elevated, given stewardship under Lord Charybdis, which, well, I am not one for gossip, but there's plenty about him. And, well, now I hear that Lord Vodnik speaks highly of you, which is quite interesting because I thought nobody spoke to Lord Vodnik other than myself. But he does have a loose mouth, and he sings your praises, which got me very curious. And, well, you know what they say? Better to invite people down and let them tell their side of the story instead of listening to stories and gossip.
Yes. As us rising at the same time as the tragedy that befell Lord Orpheus, merely a coincidence. We had been in the service of House. How did you pronounce it, Grump?
Charybdis.
Yeah, Charybdis. And we had acquired sample to the Lord. He has his hobbies. I will understand if I have to be a little tight-lipped on that. It would not be good to talk about the Lord's interests without his permission. And as for the Lord Vodnik, we are a recently established house that does not come from a distinguished line. Friends are useful to have. He was a man lacking in friends, and so it was decided that reaching out would be good for us and good for him as well.
That is understandable. How is this world of politics and intrigue treating you? I hear there is a large construction site happening in Heraklion.
Yes. I was able to get a bit of investment, and it's treating me well enough. I was a trader before this. Had to talk with a variety of people, variety of worlds and cultures, talking to people and helping them get what they want has always been a specialty of mine.
While they're doing this, having this conversation, can I focus on the two of them and kind of get a vibe of what their body language is and what they're trying to do?
Yeah. Feel free, as I will roll stuff for both of them.
Never really asked, but it might have come up. But what exactly does focus do?
So when you click your skill, you can click
Mhm.
use focus, right? And basically, I think if you like roll underneath your focus, like the number of the skill, basically like 6, 7, whatever, it counts as a crit instead of just
Okay.
instead of you needing like a 1.
Because I tried to read it in the book and I wasn't understanding.
Yeah,
it.
it's
It
just
just
basic.
extends the
Yeah,
crit range, yeah.
basically.
That's why, like, if you're making a roll for something that's like a difficult roll, but you have a focus, you might not want to spend a whole bunch of threat or momentum. But if you're making roll difficulty 4 and you don't have a focus, that's when you want to use determination if you can and get some threat.
Okay.
For the lady, I'll spend.
Roll low, roll low, roll low, roll low. Or roll high, I guess.
5, so that will be.
Oof.
Well, very hard to read for different reasons. The woman, stone face, poker face. There's no emotion. Literally, it's like staring at a wall. She's just eating. She doesn't even appear to be listening to what they're talking about. She seems like she's thinking about something completely different. And Damocles, it's kind of hard to get a read on. He seems friendly, but then again, there is like an underlying sensation that he knows more than he's letting on. There's like a bit of a threat implied. It's hard to tell. Honestly, don't know. He seems to take the opposite approach, where she is just unreadable. He is just can read too many things, and often, like a lot of them are contradictory.
Scott internally singing, "Oh shit, I think we're outclassed here. I think we've actually met our match for a second here."
Oh, Daniel's relishing it. Finally, somebody he can't just pull over.
The competent NPC I created for the house and then took away. I can finally use him.
Daniel likes a challenge. Daniel doesn't like it when things are too easy.
But yeah, so he's talking with you, Daniel. Okay. And what was it? The Malenkov Corporation?
Yeah.
Should I prepare my vacation clothes? Take a trip to your city? Would you indulge me in telling me a bit about what you're planning to build there? Just out of curiosity.
Of course. Melenkov Corporation is planning to build a series of entertainment districts. Buildings that are designed to provide respite, relaxation, entertainment to travelers along the line. There's plenty, and there's going to be more soon enough. alcohol, gambling, other recreational entertainment. I'm certain that once it's finished, there will be something that will strike my lord's fancy.
Well, I, I'm more into theater and drama play than casinos and bars, but who knows? Probably have to take a visit. Just
You would be an honored.
Hmm?
Sorry,
Oh, good.
my mistake, my lord. I would say you would be treated as an honored guest. As soon as we do complete some of our longer-term projects, we are well anytime really, but we would like to see you come by and stop by anytime.
I appreciate the invitation. I will take you up on it, but I do like to travel as the common folk do. It's you get to see the world less of rose-tinted glasses then.
Ah, shit. Just got starting to like this guy. He's feeling a kindred spirit right now.
Daniel will actually respond to that. Yes. Getting used to having to live planetside for a longer period of time. Travel the stars mostly. But said you liked the theater opera. Tell me, you just didn't enjoy it, or?
No, in fact, I am an amateur actor. At least I used to be in my youth. Time doesn't permit me to do it anymore, but well, I can still appreciate the craft.
A shame that responsibility of rulership and age takes away our time to enjoy the pleasures of youth.
True, but at the very least, I take solace in being able to ensure that the next generation has a better life for it.
Oh, I can agree with that. Been training my nephew here. His father passed away, and I took him in, paid for his education, made sure that, well, originally I was just planning on him taking over the trade operation, but now he'll take over the house when I'm gone.
Damocles nods and looks at you, Scott, and says, "You have my condolences for your father. And I have full confidence that we'll rise up to the challenge."
Coming from you, my lord, that is the highest of compliments.
Kind of like chuckles and says, "Please, my friends call me Damocles. You may not think of it, but wasn't nobility for that long either. Just going over a year right now."
Uh,
Well, kindred spirits, I guess.
In some
From
fashion or another. Although I wasn't this talented when I was your age. I was much more of a foolish young man with other trivial aspirations back then.
No trivial aspirations. It's always good to have those long ideas, especially in youth. It keeps us reaching for the stars while we're still on the ground.
He nods. Says, "True enough. So I imagine, given the amount of expenses you must be going through right now, I remember when I first took charge. I imagine you would be interested in certain trade agreements.
Let's see, Daniel will. It's a very slight gesture with his fingers, and he'll say that, well, more agreements are always preferable. We have a few bringing in income and a few things that are still in the works, but stated, more arrangements are never a bad thing.
Well, Lord Alexei told me about your interest in dealing off planet, so I assume if you can ship things out, you can ship things in.
I do have the network, yes.
Then let me just present myself as a very interested, loyal, and trustworthy customer with capital. And I am looking for someone who can provide a certain competency related to the field I need, and the discretion to ensure that, well, doesn't get revealed to everyone what I am buying.
Yeah. Daniel does not say anything, but he makes the hand gesture for go on.
There are certain things that you draw attention when purchased. And I was told that might be the ones I should talk to in case I want such purchases done. Things which might alarm other houses if they knew if they were bought. But, well, here comes the important part of the discretion.
It's because he's going to tell us what he was asking for, or
He is being very, very vague about it.
oh, I have had to deal with discretionary matters in the past. My men, our word is as good as anything. Business we dealt with before, if you didn't put stock into your oaths, you'd run out of business.
Oh, then how about this? I know you're still new to the scene and testing all the waters, see where fish bite. But I can give you a piece of advice right now. I believe, and I do not have the proof to back this up, but I do believe you are currently being set up to fail. It may not happen now, this year, may have happened in a decade, but you are being set up to fail. By who exactly? Not sure completely. But I do believe you know what I'm talking about.
Let's see, Daniel will nod. I do, my lord, and appreciate it. I've been set up to fail my whole life. My father his associates, business rivals, set up have failed the whole way, and I've made it through on top. But I appreciate the warning.
And then let us pray that you shall manage to stay on top and dodge the bullet, unlike poor old Lord Gregor.
Tragedy, what happened? Yeah, in Daniel's mind, he's like, this guy knows. He doesn't have the evidence, but he knows.
There's no way he doesn't know. We're like, shit. All right.
You see, Lord Gregor was also ambitious and shot for the stars. This is why he got killed.
Indeed. People rise too fast, too quickly. Some of the established take it as a threat. That's why I've never risen too quickly. Took over my father's operations when I was only 20. I shepherded it through decades. I'm in no rush to claim any top spot, anything such as that. What I want in my lifetime, the foundation for my house to outlast me.
Then I make this an open invitation for a proper alliance. As from lowborn to lowborn, and well, I don't really like being played, and while I do not share your great aspiration for the long-lasting impact of my house, I care about the future of my children, and I shall do whatever it is in my power to make it a stable and prosperous one. Right now, you are entangled in a web of saboteurs, spies, and assassins. And it's a web which, well, one would find very hard to untangle themselves out of. My suggestion is we can benefit from each other. You have the connections, the means. I have the manpower and the skill. Alone, we are easy to take advantage of as we lack complete coverage. We have blind spots, we have weak spots. But together we can cover for each other's weaknesses.
And this alliance you're proposing, is it informal or is it officiated by law?
The alliance, at least its true purpose, shall always remain informal and unwritten, but a token of trust would go a long way, and that is usually sealed by an arranged marriage.
You can see Daniel kind of putting his hands together. I have been looking for prospects for my nephew.
Then, if you are open, we could continue this conversation at a later date. I feel like I have given you enough to think about for tonight, and surely you will want to discuss this amongst yourselves in the privacy of your own home after you return. For now, if I do not require an answer, but just take it into consideration.
Yes. I will consult with my advisors. When the decision has been reached, I will inform you. And regardless of what that answer will be, we thank you for we thank you and the house for its hospitality.
I appreciate you taking the time to meet with us. Okay. Unless there's something else any of you might want to add, the dinner is kind of finished. And you would return back to your rooms. Buzzing noise is gone, letting you enjoy a peaceful night's sleep before you return back to your own city, safe and sound.
Yeah. Or somewhere, safe-ish, where there's less directed possible listening ears. Daniel will look at, say to Scott, "Oh, I liked him. He's competent. Hides an edge to him."
He's doing it to protect his family. That's something we value. We seem to have same mindset, if not different means. He is a skilled diplomat, and they do have a force that we can use, and specifically in our category. We can also, with some of our connections, supply them with equipment if need be. This is not the worst thing to have on our side.
Yes, family differ a bit there. But I suppose I can understand. Most fathers care for their children. But what wasn't said there? That does make me wonder. They know far more about the extent of our operations than they were telling us.
It happens. We don't.
Which means, of course, I'll have to speak with Dennis Havelock. Some of Brick's men might be talking.
You want to have up.
If they know about, of course, what else they were implying. There are leaks outside of our ability to handle. For now.
It might not be leaks. It might just be logical thinking.
Could be.
And it wasn't that hard to find out what our history was. We would probably suspect the same thing if we cared enough.
You might be right. A little bit of paranoia is a healthy thing. Giving into it, though, that's where disaster comes from.
If you would like, I can order Havelock to infiltrate Brick's community and see what he hears.
Yes, still. You should make sure the community at Brick's men at least are as secure as that rebel can be. Yeah, dude, that's actually gonna be a tisk sound from him. They wanted to put us off balance. I knew they were putting us off balance, and I let them do it. Oh. It's good, at least. Skills would have dulled if I kept dealing with the level of experience I was dealing with in the past few meetings. It's good to have somebody that can match you. Keeps you sharp.
What would you like to do with them?
For now, maintain cordial with them. They've given us time to think, and we'll take advantage of that. For now, I think the deal they've offered is an effective one. I'd like to know more about them before I accept it. If they are just making that, call it logical thinking, that's one thing, but if the operation was leaked, we might have to keep them even closer. But for now, we'll inform them that if they ask, we'll inform them that it's still being discussed. And if another option presents itself, we'll engage with it, but so far, the offer is a good one, and I doubt that a better option will present itself.
See how open his mouth and then just close it. I'll have our spy master set up whatever documents he can in a full report to you by the morning.
Good. Yes, good. Dennis. Oh, Dennis is a friend. You know what? He's also in his keep.
If I may, my lord.
Speak.
Do you think he was talking the truth about being caught in a web? I know we were set up.
Absolutely, that was the truth. Don't forget, our operation encounters many people. We were uplifted for a reason, and if needs be, we are the ones that will be dropped. We are absolutely stuck in a web. The way to win? It's not to disentangle ourselves from it. You thrash against the web, you attract the spider. The way to win is to make the web your own.
What I'm curious about, and it could be many things, it could be obvious, but what was the target's ambition? So that was enough to get him killed. What was he trying to do?
Another thing for Dennis to look into. Asking around might attract the wrong kind of attention. Openly, at least.
All right, I'll get in contact with Dennis unless there is something else. I have a lot of stuff to do.
Yes. Off to your tasks.
I'll have to go speak to Dennis.
Yeah, so is that the plan?
Yeah, a couple things. Dennis is gonna. Are we gonna have Havelock join undercover?
Now, I'll put up because Daniel is actually very smart. I'll let you roll an understand roll or a discipline roll. And I guess you'll understand. Technically, Scott can advise. And make it like a difficulty 3.
Yeah, I'll go discipline. Would the leadership focus help with this?
It would, because I'll assume you just use then more of like the Dennis skill set to help him guide him.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with power. Daniel
You wanna buy some threat?
Yeah, I will buy threat.
How much?
I said difficulty 3, right?
Yep.
So
and you
it'd be,
get one reroll. Don't
I'm
forget
not
that.
using understand
No, he's not using
Oh.
understand. So
Damn, never mind. Go
because
on.
because this will let me use the focus, which I'm hoping will pan out. You know, it's 3 threat to get 2 dice, right?
yes.
Yeah, I'll spend 3 threat to get 2 dice.
Okay. Damn.
5 successes.
Damn. Well, getting one momentum. So you spend some days with Dennis, and going over reports and thinking about like setting up a plan. You want to try and figure out these leaks, or like how would Nyx be able to figure out so much of your activities. And as you're like planning to maybe send Havelock to infiltrate the local populace to figure out if there's any spies, people who shouldn't be here, or like taking too much of a notice, which there probably are, because I mean, your city isn't the secure bastion of all cities. You can see like the giant construction site that Malankov is doing right now. And it's easy to just slip in and slip out because you are literally a transit station. So before you do that, you realize one of your main co-conspirators in this scheme to, well, assassinate Theos Orpheus and get rid of the evidence, planting new evidence, in fact, incriminating another house. A scheme which was backed by the Telaxu themselves. Their representative here was a certain man named Dorian, who, as far as you know, is in fact the ruler of House Hades. Which House Hades doesn't have the nicest of reputations, in the sense that they are known to, of course unofficially, known to wheel and deal information. So you may be looking for the leak internally, but hey, maybe it's an external leak. Maybe House Hades has been spying on you and selling that information to, well, highest bidders. Or it may have been, or it may just be House Nyx spies infiltrating your place. That's also a possibility. Or a combination of these. Or a combination of these two plus Damocles fishing for certain information.
Yeah, that's basically what Daniel was afraid of. If there's an internal leak, that would have been a lot easier to handle. You're gonna see talking to Dennis. William plays a dangerous game. If he's selling information related to the project he was involved in.
Seems quite foolish and desperate.
It's foolish. It is foolish, but men have made foolish mistakes before. But what is House Nyx's specialty again, Dennis?
I do believe they train assassins. Now that you think about it, Daniel, there were 3 other assassination attempts before yours.
Yeah. You know what they say about assassins? Well, what I say about them. As long as if you don't give them orders to kill anyone, their skill set is pretty similar to that of a spy. Getting where they're not supposed to, collecting information.
And you suspect that they're spying on us, and well, that is a very reasonable assumption.
Yes. Honestly, says he will point out I don't think Dorian sold them that information. Dorian may have sold them information that led them to us, but I don't think he sold them anything directly related to the operation. They knew what we did before, smuggling operations. Likely he sold them that, and that led them to seek us out.
Shall I dispatch our agent to infiltrate the local populace and find these individuals?
Yes, I do want us. A sweep would be good. Doubt their spies are still in the city after they got what they wanted, but good anyways. Might be a straggler that we can still catch in the web.
Of course. I shall speak with the man immediately. As he'll take his leave. Havelock will be dispatched.
Daniel's sitting alone in the room, looking over the files. Despite it all, there is a smile on his face. It's good to have competent competition once in a while.
Although, then he either kind of like bullshitted you, which is also possible. Or there's something more at play, because he was like, hey, yeah, you're being set up to fail. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that they lax for setting you up to fail, which would be like the most obvious thing in the universe.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's if that's what he was wondering about, Daniel would actually be insulted. Like, do you think I'm that dumb?
But then, he also mentioned Gregor, so probably it's not about that they lax.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'll say
Don't know.
with Havelock's skill, let me just roll for him for funsies since I have the token set up.
Feel free to use the momentum form if you want.
I'm gonna use his determination. Spells. Fine, I'll use the momentum. That's one way to get momentum, just run insanely good. That's like
As long as you roll great, you basically have an infinite momentum machine.
2 momentum back.
That's what winning looks like.
So yeah, 3 days later, Havelock returns with one individual he managed to catch, which was sending missives much to House Nix.
See, Daniel instruct him to bring him into not the office. It's probably a room in the basement.
As you set up this nice little interrogation chamber, as you bring in the roughed up looking man. He seemed to have put a fight, but it is Havelock, so it didn't really go well for him. As I mean, you can bring whoever you wish with you.
Yeah. It will be me, Scott, Dennis, and Havelock.
As you and kind of like Havelock will kind of like stay in the back a bit, in the shadows a bit. As Dennis looks at the man with a curious smile. Scott, this man looks like he's seen way better days. As he's like tied down to the chair.
Daniel's going to walk up. What's your name? Yeah, I killed Grunt. I did it again.
It's a killing blow each time.
Daniel just likes to know the names of the people he talks to. It's just a character. It's a
I
character.
know, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Just, this is not an important character, so I'm just gonna.
I know. You
randomly-
can just say he gives me his name.
No, I'm actually gonna give you a name, but his name is.
Every time I do it, I realize, damn.
His name is Philios.
Helios. All right.
It says Philios, my lord.
You native or you off-worlder?
Native.
Good, good, good. Work for House Nix. Good house to work for.
Oh.
Now, Daniel's going to and standing over him. Now, you saw the missives you were sending. I understand. The game's played, spying, all that. What were you looking for in particular, there, boy?
He like kind of like seems quite hesitant to like give you anything. Kind of like there's like half his face is just kind of like swollen from the beating. He's missing a couple of teeth. The bruises all over his body. Kind of like looks at Havelock, just kind of like shudders a bit. Just
I'm wonderful assistant, really.
was told to observe and report.
What were you reporting?
Nothing important. The construction site, crime element of the city.
I'm gonna insight if he's lying.
You understand the couple of things. Physical empathy would definitely apply to this.
Yep.
Feel free to take some momentum.
I'll say that
Yep.
this will be a counter roll.
I'll take some momentum.
Yeah, you can spend one momentum and get
Yep.
one more dice.
Alright.
Find my random discount token. Token. I will spend some on the roll already.
No, I was waiting for you to roll, but
Oh.
I'll roll right now.
There we go. 4 successes. Absolutely impressive. Ah, shit. I forgot.
What?
To keep, I had it to, because when you spend determination, it removes it from the character sheet. And this guy has his. Definitely feel.
That's what it is.
I mean, he's definitely afraid for his life, and he doesn't really think he is about to like leave this place alive. Honestly.
All right. He probably knows my reputation by now, right?
He does. Like he's been here for at least a month.
All right. Scott will walk up to him. He'll kneel before him. He'll put a hand on his chest. Or not chest, but on his shoulder.
Kind
be
of
like,
winces in pain. You realize it's
Uh,
broken.
Sorry. If you tell it, we respect loyalty. We understand why you did what you did. But we also respect honesty. If you tell us what you want to know, or what you know, and answer our questions honestly, your chances are a lot higher of going home. I give you my word, I will not hurt you if you cooperate.
No offense, my lord. I think your uncle here is not gonna let me live.
He'll turn back and look at Daniel.
Daniel, still looking down at the man.
Promise
I'd
me.
much
Sorry, go ahead.
rather have much House Nix and its leaders seem like a competent enough sort, the kind I'd rather have as contacts, allies. Friends is too strong of a word. Allies, contacts, that's right. Than enemies. As I said, I understand how this game is played. Allies spy on each other. Contacts spy on each other. It's expected.
He kind of chuckles and says, "Not gonna live that long, so if you give me your word that you'll let me go, never see me again. House Nix doesn't." But you have to promise me. I know your deals and your trades. You give your word that you let me live and leave this place. I will tell you what I know.
I could arrange your transfer off world. Your odds of survival sound better with that.
He nods.
Good. That's an agreeable deal then.
I've indeed been tasked with watching its place, and I've reported corporation, you bringing the criminal element under your control. It's been interesting talk amongst your people of shipments. I looked at one of those shipments. I saw the blades. I know what they mean. Told them about that. And well, this wasn't me, this was one of my colleagues, but that Votnik boy sure has a loud mouth.
Talk with him about that.
Well, I have been trying to seed disloyalty amongst Rick's people. Trying to get more agents infiltrated, so
Were you successful in that endeavor?
partially some of them took the bribes and are weak links, some not so much. Rick isn't as in charge of them as he likes to think. Can give you a list of names.
Do it.
Yes. Give it. Ugh. Do our own investigation into them.
He, as he can't really write because his hands are broken, he'll just tell you the names of the individuals as Dennis will mark them down one by one. There's about 5 to 6 people.
All right. That Daniel, as he's looking, as he watches Dennis jots down the last name, so they know that we have a similar element. That much was obvious. What other theories do they have? They did ask some pointed questions.
They believe you're weak. They're gonna try and infiltrate your power structures as you get stronger. So they can take you down if you become a problem.
organized and individuals onto cells. I imagine you don't know the names of other compatriots you have.
No. The other agents and they don't know of me. That's how the system works.
As expected.
I can give you drop zones, dead drop locations, but that's all.
Well, those would certainly be useful.
I'll actually like recite by mind latitude and longitude coordinates for about 3 dead drops.
Tell me, good. We did see some of the missives he left, right? So we have an example of his handwriting.
I mean, yeah.
Good. Because might be of interest to keep writing those missives, but copying his
Oh, yeah,
handwriting.
I see. Yeah, no, definitely. You could probably copy his style.
Good. Oh, it's a lot of useful information. Make great use of it, and if I don't go back on my word, so I'll look to Dennis and tell him our man here is going to need reach out to one of the ones traders that we know are competent, trustworthy, discreet. They need a man who needs to be moved off world. And of course, I'll look at Havelock, make sure he gets off world.
Havelock nods.
Oh no, Tick. Goodwill's still there. This is this is expected.
Yeah, the man actually looks really like say all that. He didn't think he was gonna get out of this alive.
Yeah. We're not really monsters. We have a code.
Daniel wouldn't have, honestly, that's the thing. Like, yeah, no. Daniel made an oath. Daniel likes to keep those for what it's worth. And I wasn't just going to let him go onto the world. Also, next could get their hands on him and find out their guy's been found out.
Yeah, I know Nix will probably kill them. That's how he believes. Anyways,
Yep.
you'll have just. Is that all you had questions for him?
Yeah, basically answers everything that Daniel wanted, unless Scott has anything.
No, because anything like if they thought they could overtake us, and the Alliance was just more ways to probably infiltrate. That being said, I will ask this: who sent you, the man or the woman?
Like chuckles and says, "The man's a figurehead. It's the woman. That's the brains."
Yeah, I called it. Daniel, we could go about this. Sorry, my lord. We can go about this 2 ways. We can let them keep trying to infiltrate us, or show our hyper-confidence and show it as a sign of strength.
Now, what we will do, once this man is delivered off-world, we have samples of his writing. We have skilled people. You look to Dennis. His missives will keep being written by us. Let them think their man is still in here, and the next time they send in a batch, we'll pick them up, we'll talk with them, and then from that position of strength, we'll speak to them.
As you wish, my lord.
Not, and Havelock will take the man, give him some first aid to make sure he doesn't die on the way there. We'll basically escort him in the next station where he will book a ship off-world. And unless there's any other conversations the two of you might want to have, I think this is a good place to end the session.
Yeah, he's gonna look at Scott as they're cleaning that up. Well, first, look at Dennis. All right, Dennis, I want you to do your own check of Brick's men. I'll be speaking to Brick directly. He only has a use as far as he has his rabble under control. If he can't keep them under control, no, there might be others who can.
Of course, sir. Shall have the subjects questioned thoroughly, and then should I dispose of the trash or let it float?
For now, keep them. The man that paid them is gone, and we are taking his mask. Useful to keep them around for now, but keep a firm eye on them. Once we reveal the hand to Nyx, I want them gone, and I want to make sure that Brick's men know that this will not be tolerated in the future.
You wish, my lord.
And then turning to Scott, oh boy, what I want you to do, I want you to invite Alexei over. Let him see Heraculon so I can discuss with him the importance of discretion.
I will get on him right away, my lord. Would you like me to bring him here personally, or just send a letter?
You can do as you wish with that. He considers you a friend. I'm sure he'd be happy to see you.
All right. I will make plans and go retrieve our boy.
Yep. And with that, Daniel will be off to talk to Brick, which we don't need to roleplay the whole thing. It's just him telling Brick that some of your men were taking outside bribes.
Well, Brick will
Just
just
keep an
ask
eye
him
on it.
if you want him to like make an example out of them, or just, yeah. As he also thinks he should just basically crucify all of them.
Yeah.
Not the wrong
I
sentimentality, just not now.
Right now, Brick, the agent that was bribing them, he's gone, and we're wearing his identity as a mask. Keep them around for now to keep the game going a little longer. And when we reveal our hands to their paymasters, an example of them will be made.
He nods.
I encourage you. No, I will actually pay you a bonus. I want them to scream.
Do it for free. But yeah, even with that, like 6 people isn't that much. It's you have like an entire city of guards.
Dan, it's much, but Dan, that gets under Daniel's nerves. Underlings not doing what they're supposed to.
Hey, listen, it is specifically said in the Prince. It is, if you can be loved and feared, it's great, but it's better to be feared than loved, because you can control fear, you can't control how people love you.
And yeah, with that, Ausilius takes another W. Can end the session.
Takes another W. Next week, we'll be talking to some people. Oh, that... he's going to have to learn to keep his mouth a little shut sometimes.
Showing off our hyper